So something to keep in mind when you're triggered, consider that it's just stored energy, right? It's just old energy that's coming up for your purview. I like to think that the thing standing in the way of what we're devoted to, that's a way of being, not a thing, right? Like being loving, courageous, healthy, whatever it might be. The things will continue to show up, to be released, to be let go. And it's almost like it's a calling back to looking at yourself, because we've spent the majority of our lives looking outwards and trying to get what we think love is from the outside. But you are and always have been the source of that. It was just your allowance of it in the presence of these things. So when these things don't operate the way that you want to, we get triggered. It's control and manipulation at its best, right? So another thing to keep in mind is when you're sitting with a trigger, the thing that you're looking for is love, and love happens in present awareness, but it's not always the easiest to attain, especially when you're triggered, if you haven't cultivated that. So I encourage people to take time in present awareness when they're not triggered to really tune back into what it feels like to be with yourself. Like, where is awareness itself, and how do I know that I exist? It's in that contemplation that often brings us back into the knowing of ourselves. So when you're triggered, it is helpful to allow that love that you are to wash over you at the same time that that feeling is being felt, right? It's just a sensation, but it's easy to get caught up in identifying it as bad or wrong. We're trying to fix it. And then we get caught up in the imagery and the language that's around it. So by going back and reminding yourself that that there is love here, that you are love, to look for that at the same time, it kind of keeps the thoughts at bay, and it gives you something else to focus on, because the thing that you're feeling, its antidote is love, right? Because that was the thing that you were looking for anyway. So why not give that feeling the love that it was trying to control and manipulate from the outside, but from the inside? And love could be a hard thing to cultivate, especially when you're triggered. So something else to keep in mind would be an approach of gentleness and curiosity. Gentleness is a pathway back into love. One of the things I love to do when I'm sitting with the way that I'm feeling is to imagine I'm in a place by myself where I actually experienced peace or love. And for me, that's sitting underneath a tree in the grass in a park on a warm summer day. Just all was right in the world, and just allow that feeling to wash over you at the same time you're feeling whatever you're feeling, and that kind of allows the space for this feeling to be expressed. So anyway, just some thoughts and tips to help you in your journey of surrendering and letting go and returning back to whatever it is that you are devoted to.